Yeah. Sean, what's up?
Stigmatism, man, what's up? Do anything.
Okay. What is it, man?
Stigmatism in my soul.
Okay. You got it, man?
Do anything.
Anything?
Anything.
You sure?
Put your mind to it. Do anything.
But what if it's hard, though, man?
If it's hard, it's gonna be hard. If it's easy, it's gonna be easy. It's all about what you think.
Okay, I can dig that.
Yo, y'all, what's up, man? 11:55 a.m., October the 9th, 2021. This the podcast with Soul. My name's Sean G, man. I started this channel from nothing. I started my window cleaning business from nothing. I started my first book, Volume 1, from nothing. I started my t-shirt business from nothing. I started my hat business, this hat that you see I have on, from nothing. I started my Instagram page from nothing. I started my Scullies from nothing. I started my big page, my other Instagram page with 80,000 subscribers from nothing. Straight entrepreneurship. Straight entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship and this message is going to apply I'm talking to the true entrepreneurs, right? And the definition of an entrepreneur is one who assumes the risk of a business venture. One who assumes the risk of a business venture. Now, I'm speaking to them in the traditional sense of the word, entrepreneur. But I'm also talking to y'all that got jobs. And I'm going to show how juxtaposed that being an employee is not the same, but can be similar to a full-fledged entrepreneur. Everybody looks at the finished product of the entrepreneur. They look at entrepreneurs, they read stories, they see videos on very successful entrepreneurs, they read articles on very successful entrepreneurs, they hear the gossip on very successful entrepreneurs, and they want that, right? They desire that. And they see the finished product. They see the end result. They see the finished product. They see the end result. And they become enamored with that. That becomes their focal point. But in order to get there, there are things that you got to do to make these visions materialize, to really breathe life into them, right? For these things, these visions, these thoughts in your minds to really take shape and manifest in reality. I've been an entrepreneur since 1999. I walked away from the corporate world at the age of 30 in 1999. I was making $72,000 a year. Had no children, 30 years old, and I walked away because all I've ever wanted was to have my own business. I've always been an entrepreneur since I had my first paper route. I washed detailed cars. And since 1999, I've been a full-fledged entrepreneur. No job, no backstop, no check, no health plan, no dental plan, no 401k, no 403b, no nothing, no pension, no nothing. Just me. Shout out to me. I love you, Sean. I love you too, Sean. Entrepreneurship requires a level of dedication, a level of work, a level of commitment, a level of sacrifice, a level of perseverance, a level of fortitude, a level of mental strength, a level of mental toughness, a level of will, and a refusal to quit that is not really required in a lot of other things in life. And that's where people are separated. That's where the real and true entrepreneurs are separated from the dreamers, from the wishers and the hopers, the people that wish things happen, the people that hope things happen. There is no hope, there is no wish or wishing in entrepreneurship. There is no dreaming in entrepreneurship. There's action. There's action. It's a verb. It's an action word. It's a verb. Entrepreneurship is a verb. I know it's probably an adjective because it's describing a person, place, or thing, but I'm talking about in the true sense of the word, entrepreneurship is a verb. It's an action word. And this is what separates the fakers from the real. This is where the discouragement makes the fakers quit, but makes the real even more hungry. You got to be a mover and a shaker to be an entrepreneur. You got to be a hustler. You got to be an extrovert. You have to go out into the world every motherfucking day and tell your current customers and potential customers what it is that you do and what it is that you're offering. If you sit back and do nothing and stay in your house and hope and wish that people find you, you will never get found. You will never get discovered. And you will just be wasting your time. As an entrepreneur, you have to take risks. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. There is no entrepreneur that's an entrepreneur that did not take a risk. I mean a true entrepreneur. I don't mean anybody that inherited a business from somebody else. I don't mean something that was passed down to beneficiaries or heirs. I'm talking about the first generation entrepreneur. You cannot be that without taking a risk. If you are looking for a risk-free investment, then you got to invest in treasury bills. You got to invest in T-bills, 90-day T-bills. But if you want that life where you own your own time, you got freedom, you have disposable income over and above your expenses, you want the ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it, you want the ability to determine your income, whatever you want it to be, then there's price to pay. There's risk to take. You got to put in the footwork in order to bring that about. There's no other way around it. There's no other way around it. I started all these businesses by engaging with people. I remember when I quit my job in '99 and I started doing business brokerage, I was trying to facilitate the sale of small real estate companies to a larger company that I work for. And I remember sitting in my apartment. I was living in an attic apartment in Wallington, New Jersey. And I would cold call. I would do, I don't know how many, 100 a day, 100 cold calls a day to real estate brokerage companies over the phone in Ohio, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, all over. I would get on the phone and I would call. And it got a lot of rejection. Left a lot of voicemails with no callback. Left a lot of messages with receptionists and secretaries that never got returned. But I kept calling. And eventually, after some time, some months, I got 2 deals. One at a time. And it paid off. It paid off. And then I eventually opened up my own tax business. And I did 19 tax returns my first year. Nobody knew I did taxes. I had to tell people. This was in 1999, so I had to get business cards printed up. You don't need any business cards anymore. In 2022, you don't need business cards in today's society. That's a dinosaur getting business cards. Let me get my business cards printed up. Nobody deals with business cards anymore. Social media is the new business card. The only people that are still using business cards are the people that are resistant to social media and resistant to change, and they're not willing to adapt to a new situation. And in the art of war, Sun Tzu says that good generals must adapt to the terrain. Generals that refuse to adapt to the terrain will be harmed by it. You got to be willing to adapt. And my tax business grew every single year. Every single year. Because I'm a real hustler. I'm a real self-promoter. I'm a real hustler. Without a doubt. There's no question about it. It's documented. It's proven that when it comes down to this entrepreneurship shit, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I've been doing it for 20 plus years. I hustle. I've been a hustler all my life. My whole life, since I got my first paper route around the 6th grade. I've been hustling my whole life. Matter of fact, I love it. There's kind of like a psychological bent, like a psychological love affair or an addiction to my hustling. That's just what I do. Been doing it. And I'm successful at it. I get up and I go out and I make it happen. Hit that like button when you come in. When you come in here, come in, wipe your feet at the door, hit the like button when you come in. Shout out to the 3 people that gave me a thumbs down. Shout out to you. Thumbs down to you too, sucker. If you have problems, most entrepreneurs have problems with authority figures, which is why they can't work on jobs. They don't like being told what to do. They don't like their ideas being capped or their potential being limited, which is what happens when you're on a job. And I'm gonna tie being an entrepreneur to also working on a job. Give me a minute, and I'm going to do that. But most entrepreneurs, they don't like authority figures. They are free spirits. They're mavericks. They're free thinkers. They don't like to be told what to do. They don't like to be corralled. They don't like to be boxed in. A lot of entrepreneurs are weird. They're different. And it's that and those special things about themselves, them little quirks about themselves, which is what makes them successful at what they do. If you have a job, if you have a W-2, if you wake up every day and you got a job, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You have to treat that job like you're an entrepreneur. And let me tell you why. Because if you have a good job, a high-paying job, there are 11 people that are willing to do your job for a 20% haircut on your salary. They're willing to take your job and do your job for less money than what you do, about up to 20 to 25%. So if you're making $50,000 a year, somebody's willing to come and do your job for $39,000 a year. You got to understand that. You have to understand that every day you wake up and go to work, you have to look at your life, look at your mortgage, look at your apartment, look at your rent, look at your refrigerator, look at your bills, look at your lifestyle and how you're able to afford the kind of life that you have. And you have to be grateful, and you have to go to work on your job and protect your job by performing at a high level. This is where the entrepreneurship component intersects with you being an employee. This is very important. And this being the case, you treating your job like you're an entrepreneur is, you show up every day to work 13 minutes early. You show up to work every single shift 17 minutes early, and you clock in. And you punch out 8 minutes after you're scheduled to leave. If you're scheduled to leave, if your shift is from 8 to 4, hold on, I gotta scratch my back itch. Hold on. Your back itch. There you go. If I was working a job, if you working a job and your shift is from 8 to 4, 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, you're supposed to show up and clock in at 7:47, and you're supposed to punch out at 4:06. You come early and you stay late. And you don't steal no time. If you get a 10-minute break or a 15-minute break in between, you take a 13-minute break. every day. Every day. You don't call in sick. You don't call in sick. Never. Even when you're sick, you go to work. Because you never want them to think or to see that they can operate that business without you. You don't never want them to ever even contemplate or even see an example or an instance that they can operate your department without you there. You don't want to be considered expendable. You want to be looked at as a valued commodity. We need her. We need him. Pay him. When they go and it's time for your evaluation and they look at your time card for the last 4 months and they see that you wasn't late not one time and you didn't call in sick not one time and that you stayed late every day, that communicates so much in so many ways. That communicates so much. This is the entrepreneurship component of being an employee. And it says so much about you. When you show up every day early and you leave every day late, man, that says so much about you over and above just your performance on your job. It demonstrates what kind of person you are, that you got your shit together. That you are prioritized, that you got your priorities in order. That's what that means. That's what that means. And you go on that job and you perform that job like nobody else in the world can. So that when those 13 people go to the boss, they get a chance to meet him and say, listen, I know you paying him $70,000 a year. I'll do his same job for $50,000 a year. I'll do the same thing, a job just as good. You want your track record to reflect that, nah. You want that CEO or that boss to say, no, I know what I got. I hear you telling me what you gonna do. And I could save 20 grand, but I know what I got. Sean come to work every day. He work when he get there, he work I know what I got. Nah, I'm cool. You want to perform. You want to perform. That's the entrepreneurship component that you bring to your job. You don't gossip on your job. I don't want to hear nothing about nobody else that works with me on this job. I did not come here for that. I'm not interested in that. I don't care who's sleeping with who's dating who. I don't care. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't want no part of that. I just want to come here. I'm going to clock in early. I'm going to clock out late. And I'm going to outperform everybody on this job. I'm going to make it like this job has to have me. that separates the winners from the losers. Don't gossip on your job. Anybody come to you with gossip, you don't want no part of that. Don't mess around with the honeys on your job. Don't do that. I did that for you. That's a mistake. You don't stick your pen in company ink. You don't play where you get your pay. It could get real messy to the point that the place where you go to make your money, to sustain your life, there's another mental component going on there. There's a love affair. There's a sex relationship going on there that now interferes with your job. And this person that you're romantically involved with on your job can now, if things don't work out the way they want them to, they can get you fired. They can create dissension. They can start lying. They just can make your life, they can put your whole livelihood in jeopardy. I've done that. Don't do that. Don't mess with none of the honeys on your job. And all the ladies, don't mess with no dudes on your job. Don't do that. That's where you go and make your money to take care of yourself. Don't do that. That's another part of the entrepreneurship. Restraint. Same thing, entrepreneurship. You have a client that's a recurring client that's supporting you, that's a big part of your company. You can't get involved romantically, because the romantic involvement, if and when it goes sour, you lose a client, you lose a customer. But you got to get out there. You got to be an extrovert. You can't be no entrepreneur at home. All you younger generation dudes, all you young dudes, you can't be no entrepreneur. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. You can't be no entrepreneur. Just sitting at home with your phone in your hand. It don't work like that. Eventually, you're going to have to get out and meet people. And if you're an introvert, you're not comfortable in social situations, you're intimidated by being social and outgoing, then you're going to have to break out of that. Because at some point with your business, you're going to have to make some presentations. You're going to have to go to networking events. You're going to have to tell people what it is you do at some point. And you got to be a mover and a shaker. You got to make phone calls. You got to risk rejection. And the rejection is fine. They're not rejecting you personally. They're rejecting what you're offering. You got to be able to decipher between the two and differentiate the two. It's not you. You could be walking around selling chocolate bars, and you go up to a bunch of people asking them if they want to buy a chocolate bar, and they say no. They don't tell you why, but you can't take it personal. Maybe they're allergic to chocolate, and y'all didn't get a chance to talk further enough so that you can learn that. So they weren't rejecting you. They were rejecting what you were selling. Hit that like button, y'all. Thank you. Now I want to shift gears, man. A lot of y'all going through life, stop comparing yourself to other people's exterior. Stop comparing your inside to other people's outsides. Stop comparing your insides to other people's outsides. You are fine just the way you are. If you come at me real, I'm going to love you for who you are, for real. If you come at me fake, I'm going to say you a piece of shit. You's a fake motherfucker. Everybody's going to say that. Stop comparing yourself to other people's exterior. Stop comparing your insides to other people's outsides. You are where you are in your life right now for a reason. And you got yourself there. James Allen talks about that as a man thinketh. A man's circumstance is reflected of his thoughts. You are where you are because your thoughts have brought you there. If you don't want to be where you are, change your thoughts so that you can go somewhere else. But you looking at other people and you wanting to be where they are and you think they're doing better than you. What's better? What? Because they got more money? Is that your barometer? Is that your measuring stick? What's better? Because they live in a house and you got an apartment? That's your barometer? Trip, thank you for that super chat. It ain't much before the game you put out. Most of these cats don't know what you're doing for them. Appreciate you, Unc. Shout out to Trip. Trip, give me a question or topic. I'm going to handle it for you. I'm going to try my best. Why? Because they drive an Audi and you have a Toyota. They're doing better than you. That's your barometer. That's your measuring stick. Listen, man. All of these celebrities, all these super famous people, these super wealthy people, they can never take their kids to Burger King and sit down in Burger King with their kids and be at peace without TMZ harassing them. They sitting there. Imagine, I don't like using people's names, but Michael Jackson, he could never, he said I stayed in 6-star hotels. I stayed in the best hotels all over the world, but I couldn't even walk through the lobby. They had to bring me back through the maintenance elevator and take me up to the 32nd floor or the 18th floor. Because for me to just walk through the lobby, I would get mobbed. And then he would go up to the 18th floor and rent out the whole floor and be up there by himself. Had to go out into society with disguises on. You name the people. Michael Jordan, Drake, Tom Cruise, all of these. Big Bear Triller, thank you for that super chat. Give me a topic, Big Bear. They couldn't even go to goddamn Walgreens at night and get them a bottle of Theraflu by themselves. Yeah, we see them on stage or getting all these accolades and awards and applauses, and they got these planes and they own, but there's a certain part of that, there's a certain part of life, and there's a certain part of them that don't want that no more. They want to be like you. A lot of these super wealthy people, after they get the fame and the stardom, they begin to think like, I don't want this anymore. And they want to be back like you. They want to be able to ride a public bus. They want to be able to go into Quick Check and make their own coffee. everybody around them are just a bunch of yes men. Ain't nobody keeping it real with them because they're being paid. Their check is tied to this person. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people are going through. You could pull up at the red light next to somebody. They pull up in a big Benz and Versace shades on and a Gucci shirt on. You understand? And you there, with your 95 Toyota Camry station wagon. You understand? That you got to keep putting brake fluid into the master cylinder. You got to keep putting antifreeze in it every month. And you can sit there and allow yourself to feel less than because they got a Benz and you got the Toyota Camry, but they go home to their house and they take anxiety medication, antidepressants. They have a gambling addiction. And they have a handicapped child at home. And you go home to your apartment with your Toyota Camry. You don't have no health issues. All your bills are paid. You got food in the refrigerator. And you all right. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what comes with that. And I was just building a scenario right there. That's not no real scenario I don't know of, but it's really going down. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more. But we got to look deeper. We got to look deeper than these facades. Trip. Do you want to be a millionaire again, knowing what comes with being that rich? We got to understand the facades that comes with this. And you can't allow self-rejection and self-hatred to become your order of the day because of what you see somebody else, you understand, has or looks. If we all got in the middle of a room, if all of us, it's 32 people in this live right now. Hit that like button, y'all. Thank you for hitting that like button. If all 32 of us got in the middle of a room and we all threw our problems in the middle of the floor and we had a chance to look at everybody's problems and issues and life situations and circumstances, we would be fighting to get our problems back. After you look and see, damn, he working with that. Whoo, look at her. Yeah, but she fly. She got a nice body, big titties, fat ass, all that. She got the fly Vera Wang dress on. She got the fly shoes, toenails done, polished, hair right. But she working with that when this is her real life. Nah, I'm cool. You would be fighting to get your problems back because after you saw what everybody else was dealing with, you would understand that yours ain't really that bad and that you can handle yours because you've been handling yours. True story. Trip asks, do you want to be a millionaire again? Absolutely, and I'm gonna be. Knowing what comes with being that rich. I was rich the first time, Trip. When I was a millionaire the first time, I was dumb. I was ignorant. I was reckless. I was careless. I was weak. I was soft. I didn't have the ability. I used to say yes when I wanted to say no. I didn't have the ability when I should have. I used to say no when I needed to, but I wasn't, I was way different than what I am now. Way different. So yeah, I'm gonna be a millionaire again. I want to be a millionaire again, and I'm gonna be. But I'm totally different. Like, pussy don't rule me no more. See, my dick used to rule me, Trip. My dick used to rule me. It used to rule me, run my life, tell me what to do. It don't do that no more. I was a first time millionaire, so the freedoms that it gave me, there was a level of arrogance that I developed with that money too that made me careless and reckless. At that time, Trip, that was my barometer. I had grew up that was the barometer, that was the measuring tool, that if you had money, you were better. That's where I was. And that's how we're groomed. That's the ideology. That's the American way. That's the American ideology. Now, yes, money can do things for you. It can move people, but I let it move me. It changed me. You understand? So, but now I'm totally different. You know what I'm saying? I'm totally different. Once you've had it, I lived that life. Once you've had it and you go through that crystallization process of losing it, when you get it back, there's a different application of the money. I went out, I used to buy expensive suits, $4,000 suits. I used to just buy shit because I could. It didn't even mean anything. I used to just buy it. Run up credit cards, pay them off just because I could. But what is that? What is that? My self-esteem, that was my self-esteem was low. And a lot of my confidence was hinged upon my wealth. So this go around, there'll be a different application of the wealth, right? It'll be more of a tool. It'll be more of a tool as opposed to let's party, let's get down, let's go to the whole, let's get freaky, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Trip, that was a great question, man. Big Bear Triller, where you at, man? Stizzy says, failure sometimes is the best success as long as you walk away a better person. Be satisfied with where you at right now in your life. And if you're not satisfied with where you are in your life, then change your situation. And this is a marathon, man. It ain't no sprint. Just because somebody's ahead of you on Friday, don't mean by next Wednesday you won't be ahead of them. Look at yourself and look at your life. Reflect on your life. at where you were at one point. And look at me, case in point, right? At one point I was a millionaire. And if money is the measuring tool, I was ahead of a lot of people. But then I lost it all. So I went from being ahead of a lot of people and I filed the bankruptcy, a $934,000 bankruptcy. I filed Chapter 13. So I went from being ahead of a lot. If money is the measuring tool, I went from being ahead of a lot of people to being in last place with a lot of people, behind a lot of people. Things change. Change is the only constant in the universe. It's the only reality. Give me a question, Big Bear. Shout out to Chadwick Wilson for the super chat, man. Shout out to Trip for the super chat. Give me a question, Big Bear. So, just because you work in the fry station at McDonald's today, October 2021, you never know. By April 2021, you may be the night manager with a key to the store. Things change. The change is the only reality in the universe. Everything else is unreal because it has a beginning and an end. That's what the Kabbalion tells us. Trip. Would you teach Lil Sean how to get it, or would you let him soak the benefits of your labor? I'm going to do both. I mean, he watches me do the YouTube. Philip Hogan, what's up, man? Shout out to Philip Hogan. Philip Hogan, I need a question from you, man. Let's keep this shit going. Trip, he watches me. He started his own TikTok. He he's watching me do this, right? And he's 10. So just think 10 years from now, he'll know how to set up his own social media platform, how to do video, all of that, right? I could even help him right now at some point if I wanted to set him up with a gaming. He likes to play the Fortnite. If I want to set him up with a gaming situation, get him a computer with the camera. You know how these kids got these gaming YouTube channels? I could do that for him, right? And help him get a lot of subscribers. Get your kids to follow him, And the bigger I grow, the easier that'll be for me to do that for him. But I'm just not really ready for him to do that right now at 10. I don't want him equating his life with that, at least right now, right? And I may need to adapt and adjust, like I tell, like the Art of War tells us we have to adapt. But he's already started his own business. He goes around and he walks dogs in this apartment complex I live in and takes people's garbage out. They give him $2, they give him $3. He started that on his own. In the summer one day, he came in the house. I did not tell him this. He went in the refrigerator and got a whole bunch of bottles of water and went up there on the street and was selling waters at the traffic light by himself. He wrote some down on some notebook paper, waters for 50 cents or $1, whatever he was selling them for. And he did that on his own. And I said, yo, this is definitely my son. So all of that's already in him. But yeah, of course, I'll be here. I'm supposed to be his consigliere. I'm supposed to be his advisor, and show him the way. And then he can take all of my content, because I save all of my content, all of my videos. I got all my videos on hard drive. So he could take all of this content 20 years from now, 30 years from now, and whatever social media platform that's going on at the time, he can upload all of these videos I'm doing in the parks on my calisthenics channel and say, yo, this is what they was doing in New York back in 2018, 19, 20, and 21. You know what I'm saying? He can monetize that. So he's doing both, man. Philip Hogan, what up, man? Thank you for that super chat, man. Give me a question, Philip. I need a question from you, man. Big Bear Triller, where your question at, man? Give me a topic. Give me something to go on, man. Hope y'all enjoying yourself. Hit that like button. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the thumbs down, too. Shout out to them suckers, too. Chadwick Wilson, okay, does working out and eating clean benefit your mental health as well? Without a doubt. Dia Blaze, what's up, man? Yo, Dia Blaze, you see it? Self-mastery, man. If you want one of these shirts, get with my man, Dia Blaze. Chadwick Wilson, does working out, eating clean benefit your mental health as well? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. When you work out and you release those endorphins and dopamines in the brain, right? That's the pleasure center of the brain. That's where cocaine and crack cocaine in particular, heroin, these drugs, as you know, that they were designed in the 80s to destroy, they immediately attacked your pleasure center of your brain and released endorphins and dopamines, right? Endorphins and dopamines is the pleasure center of the brain. You also release endorphins and dopamines when you're having a good workout. You ever be working out and then you get to the point to where you just high and you just feeling good? That's because your endorphins and dopamines are being released. You have endorphins and dopamines released during sex. When you jerk off, when you come, you release endorphins and dopamines. When a woman has an orgasm, she's releasing endorphins and dopamines. This is the pleasure center of the brain. Right? So anything that makes you feel good, that's going to benefit your mental health. Right? That's Chadwick's question. Does working out and eating clean benefit your mental health as well? Without a doubt, because working out is going to give you an overall sense of well-being. It's going to boost your self-esteem. Once you start looking good and then you eating clean on top of that, you start dropping weight. You start looking good. People are telling you, oh, you look good, you lost weight. Honeys is attracted to you now. You know, all of these things impact your mental health immediately. Immediately. So absolutely. And then conversely, on the flip side of that coin, when you let yourself go and you get fat, right? You stop working out. Now you're not releasing none of the endorphins and the dopamines, right? Now you're telling yourself that you suck. You laying in the bed longer. You don't want to get up, to get out, to get hustling. You looking at everything that's wrong in your life instead of everything that's right. Bruce Wright, thank you for that super chat. Bruce, come up with a question. I'm going to get with you in a minute. Now you focusing on everything that's wrong instead of everything that's right. You comparing your insides with other people's outsides. You not pursuing your entrepreneurship endeavors. You showing up to work late. You leaving early. You stealing time. You gossiping at work. Man, it's a motherfucking train wreck.
Yeah. Sean, what's up?
Stigmatism, man, what's up?
So, absolutely, the food you put in your body, it makes a difference, man. Absolutely. Bateen Rivers, thank you for that super chat. I need a question, Bateen. Trip might be off topic. How you feel about marriage, Unc? Marriage is something that happens before you go to the church and stand in front of the preacher. And divorce is something that happens long before you go to court and stand before a judge. Marriage happens. You ever meet a honey, man, and y'all just hit it off? You and her just hit it off. You guys are kindred spirits. She's sexually attracted to you. You sexually attracted to her. Y'all getting busy every day. You calling her 6 times a day. She calling you 11 times a day. You texting. You just can't get enough, right? You're married. That's marriage. Your spirits are marriaged. Your spirits are engaged. Your kindred spirits, you guys are spiritually bound. The bond is there. The mental bond is there. The spiritual bond is there. The physical bond is there. You're married. That's true marriage to me, Trip. You get divorced when you no longer are attracted to this person. You no longer want to be around this person. You don't even call this person. There's nothing there. The bond is broken. The spell is broken. The chemistry ain't there. You don't want to hit it no more. She don't want to give you none no more. You try to hit it. She try to give you some. Her joint is dry. Your joint don't get hard. You're divorced. I don't care if you've been married 40 years on paper. That's a divorce. That shit is over. Y'all just fronting and perpetrating the fraud, you understand, because of what people gonna say or think, or what family gonna do, or you doing it for the kids. Y'all faking, and you really just teaching the kids how to be fake. That's my feeling on marriage. Bruce Wright, thank you for that super chat. How do we pay ourselves and handle taxes as an entrepreneur or 1099 independent contractor? If you are an entrepreneur, when you come to file your taxes, depending upon how you got your, how you set up, are you set up as an LLC, single member LLC? If you're set up as a single member LLC, you're going to file your Schedule C. Your business will be filed on a Schedule C on your personal tax return, okay? If you're a LLC set up as a partnership or as an S Corp, then you're going to file that LLC, I think, on a 1065, separate and distinct from your 1040 tax return. You'll be filing 2 tax returns. If you're an independent contractor, whoever you're working for is going to give you a 1099, and you're going to file that on your personal tax return, your 1040. You still take money as you need it. You keep a separate checkbook. Here's all my checkbooks. I got 4 different checkbooks. One of them's personal, Gunby Publishing. This is my mother's account, and this is my investment, SXG Investments. So the accountant in me, Bruce Wright, I'm anal. I'm obsessive compulsive disorder. I'm an accountant. You know what I'm saying? Shit got to be perfect with me. So I like everything separate. And if you do have a business, separate it from your personal. Have your personal shit here, your business shit here. Right? But take money as you need out of your business. It will show at the end when you file your tax return and your accountant does your tax return, whatever profit or loss that you're going to show on your business. If you have a profit, you're going to pay tax on that. If you have a loss, it's going to act as a tax shelter and reduce your taxable income on your personal side. And you'll be able to carry that loss forward to mitigate further taxes going forward. But you don't, you to pay yourself, the question, if you got money in the account, take it out and spend it. It'll be treated as salary at the end when it's all netted out at the end. Now, if you want to set up a payroll situation for yourself with your own company, which I don't advise you do, especially when you're small, then you got to get a paycheck company, a payroll company, ADP or Paychecks. I used to use Paychecks. I think they used to charge me like $30 a month, and I would get I had my secretary would give her a paycheck, and they take out all the taxes and all of that. I mean, you could do that, but that's an extra expense that you really don't need. Now, if you're doing some serious sales, if you got a side hustle and you're making 30 under $100,000 a year, there's no need to set up a payroll situation and none of that. But if you start getting up into you're making $400,000 or $500,000, and then you want to start paying yourself a paycheck, a salary of $80,000 a year, and you want to set it up through a payroll so you could pay taxes and all of that, yeah, then at that point you could do that. But as a small businessman, you don't got to go through all of that. You're just creating more paperwork for yourself. Now you got to file 941s. You just got to do all of that, you know what I'm saying? And it really ain't necessary, man. So that's how that works. Give me another question, Bruce, right? Bateen, where your question at? Where your question at? Big Bear Triller, you got another question? Yeah, your mental health is important, man. And don't think mental health, don't relegate. Appreciate the info, Sean. I'm gonna get with you. All right, Bruce, hit me Instagram. My Instagram is at the top of the screen there, at Gunby Publishing. Email, the podcast was sold at gmail.com. And if you want to catch up with me, if you want to sign up for the Patreon, we could DM and all of that, FaceTime and all that if you want to get that busy. Don't think that mental illness only derives from like being retarded or having autism or Down syndrome. No, a very painful divorce can give you mental health issues, right? Being a millionaire like I was and losing it all will give you mental health issues, right? Being in love with somebody that don't love you back will give you don't equate mental health issues as like some kind of stigma, like a handicapped person, man. It's far more pervasive than that, man. That's like minuscule. Sean, start getting dressed for your game because we finna get out of here. Oh, you dressed already? The death of a loved one, right? Anger, wanting to fuck somebody up is mental health issues. Being done dirty can bring about mental health issues. And that's why working out is so important, and staying fit is so important. And loving yourself is so important. It's important. It's important. It's important. Philip Hogan, any tips on changing from an introvert to an extrovert? Take a risk, Philip. Take a risk. Take a risk. Starting today, when you go out today, the next time you go to the gas station next time you go to the gas station and the dude comes over to pump your gas. In Jersey, we can't pump our own gas here. We have gas station attendants. In the South, you pump your own gas. The next time you go to the gas station and the guy comes over to pump your gas, say, hey, man, what's going on? How you doing, man? You all right? He's going to be like, whew, wow, that's cool. I've been here 6 hours. Ain't nobody said a word to me since I've been here. They just give me the money, $20 regular, or they give me the credit card, $40 unleaded. Because everybody's walking around in fear. Say what's up to the gas station attendant. When you go in to McDonald's, Philip, or you go to Walgreens or Walmart or Dollar Tree or wherever you go, and the girl or the dude has a name tag on. Address them by the name. How you doing, Brittany? And watch the reaction you get. Practice that. Do that every day, every encounter for the rest of the day. And then do it every day. And then if you see a fly honey, just go over to her. I saw one where I was at the gas station. Check me out. Shout out to Sean G, man. Shout out to me.
I said astigmatism in my soul.
So I'm at the gas station. I'm in my 1995 Toyota Camry station wagon with the dent on the side that I got to keep putting brake fluid in because the brake light keep coming up on my dashboard, and I got to keep putting antifreeze in there because it run hot, right? And it's a fly honey over there. I'm in this lane, she in the next lane over. She getting gas, I'm getting gas. I look over, I'm like, nigga got that motherfucking fed look. I get out the car, Philip. I walk over to her. I said, man, I gotta call that girl today too. I got her number. She gave me her number too. I'm a bad motherfucker, nigga. She gave me her number. Yeah. I got the number. I said, look. I said, man, I was just over here minding my business, getting my gas, and you happened to be here. And I said to myself that if I didn't come over here and introduce myself to you, that I might go crazy the rest of the day just thinking about what could have been had I came and spoke to you. And you know what she did? She smiled. Yeah. Because I'm fucking like that. Right? And once she smiled, I smile. What's your name? I ain't gonna tell y'all her name, but she gave me her name. Boom, boom. I said, well, listen, I know you in a rush. I'm in a rush. I'm gonna call you later. I didn't ask her, can I call you later? I told her. Fucking told her what I was gonna do. Yeah. I'm gonna call you later. Give me your number. She said, okay. I went and got my phone. I fixed it, and I put my phone in her hand. She dialed it. She put her number in, and then she dialed it, so the number came up, and then I heard her phone ring. So I know she wasn't bullshit. Yeah. And that's what you got to do, Philip. So what? Now, I hit a single on that one, right? But I probably could have stepped into some honeys earlier that day. I can't even remember because I forget because it don't bother me, where I speak and they don't even speak back. And I be wanting to say, well, fuck you then. You don't want to speak, but I don't. But they're entitled not to speak. They don't got to speak to me. Just because I speak to them. They don't have to speak to me. It's polite. It's respectful. Sean, who is that? That was our bell? Go down there and see who it is. They might be getting at me because I'm loud. But look out the window. Anybody down there? They don't have to speak to me. They don't, and that's okay. I don't get a single everyone. Sometimes I strike out. Yeah. Tell him to come upstairs. That's the post office guy? All right, can you bring it up? Come on. All right. So but Philip, you got to work on that. With all the fear, as scared as you may be, you got to conquer that part of you. You got to kill that Philip. That Philip is not helping you. That Philip is holding you back, and you got to go to war with him. And you can win. I've had to do that. If you read my first book, anybody that's read volume 1 will read about the war that I had with myself, where I kept fucking myself over. I kept jerking myself. I kept crashing and burning my whole life. And at one point, I got to the point where I had to have a war with myself, and I had to kill my old Sean, because that old Sean was destructive. He was no good. He wasn't useful anymore. He harmed me. So you're going to have to take some risk, Philip. You're going to have to get out there. And I'm talking to everybody. If you're an introvert and you want to be an extrovert, you got to practice it. You got to practice it. When I first started smoking weed, I didn't know how to roll a joint. I would have to let motherfucker roll the joint for me. Then one time I had weed and roller papers by myself, wasn't nobody around. I had to roll my own joint. And if the first ones didn't smoke right, they would canoe, they wouldn't smoke right, they wouldn't burn even. But then after a while, after practice, many times, I got good. I can drive on the highway and roll the joint at the same time. So it takes practice. By Teen Rivers. When just starting out, how long should you wait before you register your business as far as bank accounts, taxes, etc.? Do not wait to register your business at the end of December, whenever you decide that you're going to do it. Right? Don't file no paperwork with the state. Do not register your business. Do not get an EIN. Do not get a bank account in the name of the business until late December, so that January will be coming around, in a week or two, and you'll be starting fresh with a full year. All right? That's my recommendation. Second recommendation is do not register your business. Do not get an EIN. Do not get any bank accounts for your business until you are certain, until the business shows you that it's a going concern. Sean, what the hell is a going concern? A going concern is something that is sustaining itself. You got a steady stream of clients, a steady stream of income. It's a going concern. A lot of times we start these businesses with these ideas and then we give up after 39 days or we give up after 83 days. You know, now you're not even doing the business no more, but you done set all this paperwork up with the state, the EIN, the IRS, the banks, and now they sending you all of these documents and you really like, yo, I ain't even got the business no more, but you done file, you on file with them, so they gonna keep sending you the stuff. Do not file and get on file with the state or the feds until you are certain that your business is gonna survive the first 9 months or the first year. And then you're making enough revenue to where you can start reporting it. If you got a little side business and you making $7,000, $8,000 a year or 20, there's no sense in setting that up. You know what I'm saying? That's small potatoes. It's going to become more of a headache with the paperwork than what it's worth for the business. That answer your question, Batin? Chadwick Wilson laughing at me. You got it, Philip Hogan, man. That's why we here. We work together, man. I don't smoke weed anymore, too, just for those that know. I don't get high. Today's the next week, next Saturday, I'll be celebrating 31 years clean from drugs and alcohol. I used to smoke weed. I used to sniff cocaine. I used to smoke angel dust. I used to trip off of LSD, off of mescaline. I used to smoke crack. I used to drink liquor. I used to drink beer. I used to drink wine, take uppers, downers. I did all kind of drugs in the 1980s. I was born in 1969. I started getting high at the age of 12 as a child. In 1981, I got high from 1981 to 1989. I got clean in 1990. I destroyed my life. I destroyed my baseball career. I destroyed my academic high school career. I destroyed college. I destroyed everything, relationships, my self-esteem, myself, my confidence with drug use. So I was just using the weed rolling thing as an example of practice. But I don't get high. That's why I look as good as I look. That's why I'm as nice as I am. That's why I work as hard as I work. My work ethic is unmatched. I look fantastic. You understand? I get pussy on a regular basis. You understand? I'm clean. I ain't got no diseases. I got food in the refrigerator. I'm nice. You understand? I don't get high. I don't take myself. I was already, when I was getting high, I was taking myself already as a Black American male, right? I'm already removed from the American dream in the society, right? I'm already a second-class citizen just by virtue of my birth, right? So it's hard enough to do it that way. Then I'm gonna take some weed and some Budweiser and Coke 45, and I'm gonna put some cocaine blow in there. I take myself, the American dream is here, I'm already here. And then when I choose through my own volition, my own choice to put drugs and alcohol in my body, I move myself all the way outside on my own. So why would I do that to myself? Why would I alter my mental state, right? And be out of my mind for any length of time, 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. You understand? And I was getting high for pure sport. It wasn't because I had glaucoma or I had an astigmatism and a needle for my eye, or I was going through chemo and smoking marijuana eases the chemo side effects. Nah, I was getting high because I was a goddamn fool. I was trying to be down, right? And I had some childhood trauma issues that I was running from. That's why I got high. You understand? But I survived it, almost got killed a bunch of times in Harlem in the 80s, the real New York. This here in 2021, this ain't New York. If you didn't see New York in the 80s, if you didn't see that, you ain't see the real New York, period. 70s and 80s, that's when I come through. You understand? I survived it and I'm here and I don't get high.
I said astigmatism in my soul.
Yeah, so that's what it is, man. I got to hurry up. Sean got a baseball game at 1:30, man. We got to get over here. He going to pitch. So I got to get out of here, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that hit me off with the super chat. My man Trip, Chadwick Wisdom. Follow my man Big Bear Triller. Let me put Big Bear Triller at Big Bear Triller. Yo, follow my man right there on Instagram, man. Everybody follow my man right there on Instagram, Big Bear Triller. If you can't find him, and his name is Chadwick Wilson. Tell him you saw him on my podcast. He had the biggest super chat of the day. Thank you for that, Chadwick. Trip, what's up, man? Thank you. Philip Hogan, man, you know what it is. We're gonna change today. We're gonna try something different. Bruce Wright, catch up with me. Bruce, send me an email. The podcast was sold at gmail.com with your phone number. I'm gonna call you. Bateen Rivers already, but Bateen locked in. Bateen been locked in with my channels, man, for a minute. He always shows love and support. I appreciate all y'all. Philip Hogan, I see you on the night. I may go live tomorrow, man, but Sundays might be a little light because of the football game or whatever. But listen, believe in yourself. Make mistakes, but make new mistakes. Don't beat yourself up. It's enough people that hate you already in your family, in your life, at work, at your job. It's enough people that hate you. Don't help them by hating you too. You understand? Love yourself. Tell yourself good stuff about yourself. You understand? And that's what we do. Check my man Big Bear Triller out on Instagram. Go check him out right now, man. Big Bear Triller on Instagram, man. And tell him you saw him on my podcast with Soul Sean G. Peace.
I said astigmatism in my
You
soul.
got that motherfucking Fed look. Yeah.
Show 'em what's up.
Astigmatism, man, what's up? Do anything.
Okay. What is it, man?
Astigmatism in my soul.
Okay. You got it, man?
Do anything.
Anything?
Anything.
You sure?
Put your mind to it. Do anything.
But what if it's hard, though, man?
If it's hard, it's gonna be hard. If it's easy, it's gonna be easy. It's all about what you think.
Okay, I can dig that. I love you, Sean.
Me too.